Hello, people. This is a live stream. I'm currently doing the project called Jimi Hendrix Quote Machine. Or no, it's called Front End Libraries Project. And in the Front End Library Project, you're supposed to have a bunch of audio files that make up a drum pad. And instead of making like bass drums and snare drums and things like that, I am creating, my code is going to have quotes from Jimi Hendrix. And so I'm going to be breaking down quotes, pulling them off the internet using ScreenFlow, and saving them as MP4 files so that I can use them in the quote machine to fulfill this. Now, I've already done it once for the tutorial, but I'm not going to keep doing it because that would be boring. And so, yeah. Let's see. I want to have this pop-up chat. If anybody is watching this, feel free to ask me some questions, especially if it's in regards to anything involving the Useful Programmer channel. But I'll be using ScreenFlow a lot in this project, and I'm just going to keep making Jimi Hendrix MP4 files so that I can use them in a software project. So here we go. Cool. So I'm starting here, and I've got an untitled ScreenFlow project. This was the last one that I did, so I'm just going to get rid of this now. And yeah. Hello, Monster Boy. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. It's good to see you. Oh, I guess I don't need to type that because you can just see me. I'm streaming. Okay, so I'm going to hit the record button now. And I hope this doesn't break the stream. Wait a second. I can actually make this more efficient. Instead of recording everything, I can configure the recording and just record audio. Just record computer audio. And so now I can record this. We'll see what's happening. And so I want to record this Jimi Hendrix audio file.
Succeeding is a hard one for you if your bassist, say, is in the blues or something like that, and you suddenly make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Someone said it's hard to sing the blues when you're making that kind of money. This assumes that you can't be unhappy and have a lot of money.
Yeah, well, sometimes it gets to be really easy to sing the blues when you're supposed to be making all this much money, you know. Because, like, money is getting to be out of hand now, you know. And, like, musicians, especially young cats, you know, they get a chance to make all this money and they say, oh, this is fantastic. And like I said before, they lose themselves and they forget about the music itself, you know. They forget about their talents. They forget about the other half of them. So therefore, you can sing a whole lot of blues. The more money you make, the more blues sometimes you can sing. But the idea is like to you know, use all these hang-ups and all these different things, you know, like as steps in life, you know. It's like drinking coffee. Well, you don't drink it every day or else you go into another scene with it, you know, like escapes and all this.
I don't know, but it sounds good. Do you consider yourself a disc?
Okay, cool. So I just got that recording, and I'm going to add that to the Untitled project. And so now I can add the Untitled project here. So I'm going to just, well, first I can, the cool thing about ScreenFlow is it's got this smooth volume level thing. So now I'm going to run all my drum things through this one. Hello, Mr. Oh, I don't know who that is. So now I'm going to trim this up so that it's a clean audio file.
I'm Super Chicken. Don't you forget it.
And don't I forget it? Now, I was going to say, the problem of succeeding is a hard one for you if your bassist, say, is in the blues or something like that, and you suddenly make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Cool. So I think this is kind of the beginning of this whole idea that I wanted to capture here. Jimi Hendrix talks about succeeding.
You can sing a whole lot of blues. The more money you make, the more blues sometimes you can sing. But the idea is like to you know, use all these hang-ups and all these different things, you know, like as steps in life, you know. It's like drinking coffee. Well, you don't drink it every day or else you go into another scene with it, you know. like escapes and all this?
I don't know, but it's
Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of Dick Cavett's kind of last part here, and then I'm going to press here, Command Shift, and then this backslash key, which makes it so that the audio blends in.
the problem of succeeding.
And then I've got an audio file that I can export. Let's see here. If I export it as, I'm actually just going to go straight into the folder that I want to put it in. So this is my quote machine. This is the clips. I'm basically going to say, I think A. Yeah, I'm just going to add it to the clips folder. And I'm going to make it A on money. And export it like that. So now if I come over to my clips folder, I've got the first one.
What do you like to hear if somebody comes up after a concert? The problem of succeeding is a hard one for you.
And then on money. Okay, so that's the first one. Now I've got 8 more of these to go. Yeah, but I'm live streaming here for now. If anybody wants to ask any questions about programming or the channel or anything like that. So yeah, let me know. I can't find out if there's anybody here, so I'm halfway through the React course on FCC. Just wanted to ask if they have covered everything or we have to look for more on other sites. Yeah, the React stuff on Free Code Camp is like, the React stuff on Free Code Camp just gets you started. It just shows you kind of how it works. Usually when you're using React, you're going to be using a server-side language like Node, or that you can use React and Ruby. And then when you do that, you're going to have a whole bunch of other interactions. So this is just what they show you on Free Code Camp is just how to get started with React. And so that if you end up, looking at React code, you're not completely in the weeds about how it works. But it's actually pretty complex, and just the Free Code Camp stuff is just kind of a way to get started with it. So that's why I tell people don't get hung up on it. If you get kind of stuck with the Free Code Camp React stuff, just kind of bang through it and just pay as much attention as you can, but get through it, because if you're really going to learn React, you're going to have to do 3 or 4 projects to really pick it up. So I hope that answers your questions, Amir. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is bust back open these Jimi Hendrix ones, and we're going to look for some cool quotes.
Discipline guide, you get up every day and work.
There we go.
You consider yourself a
I'm going to do a discipline so we can get Jimi Hendrix on discipline. Any other sites or tutorial suggestions? For React, I'm not an expert on it. I don't really work in React. I usually just use Bootstrap and Rails. And so, yeah, I don't know where I would go to learn React right now. I would actually just try to go to YouTube. I'd look for React tutorials. Personally, I would look for React and Rails tutorials and then try to figure out how they work together. I think HackerRank's a great way to practice coding. In terms of whether it would help you on resumes, I'm not exactly sure. It's all about lining up, like with your resume, I think it's all about lining up, what the person who's hiring needs with what you can provide. And if you can do the thing that they need, then that's when you win. So yeah, I hope that helps. I'm actually not much of an expert on, the whole interviewing and thing like that, because I haven't done a lot of that.
Sounds good. You consider yourself a discipline?
So again, I'm gonna smooth the audio here.
Every day and work.
Oh, I try to get up every day.
Do you write every day though?
Oh, yeah.
You want to leave a call?
What does that mean?
Every day though? Itself is a discipline.
Cool, and then I'm gonna clip this here and add the in and outs on this one.
Do you consider yourself a discipline guy? Do you get up every day and work?
HTML5 game. I don't know.
Oh, I try.
It's not really my expertise. I like making, please, okay. I mean, I'd have to learn it, to be honest. I haven't made any HTML5 games ever, so that would be kind of a weird one. Okay, on discipline, so I'm exporting it as audio only, so I can export there. I have seen 2 to 3 videos of NetNinja, quite like the way he explains the things. Cool, I'm unfamiliar with NetNinja. Yeah, I've done a little bit of React Ruby on Rails stuff, but it's kind of troublesome. There's a bunch of new stuff in Rails 6, which is making JavaScript, like the way that the server uses JavaScript, more difficult. And so I'm still kind of trying to figure that out.
That in itself is a discipline.
Okay, cool. So now I've got another one. I've got a discipline, a money, on compliments. These are all Jimi Hendrix stuff. Discipline shouldn't be that. Let's see. I'm working on this project now, so this should be W. So I've got QW, and then this should be E. And then I'm going to go A next. And these are the keys that are going to be associated with these clips that I'm bringing in. I'm actually going to do the code part of this when I'm actually doing the process where I'm making one of these tutorial videos where I'm going through a portfolio project, and in that I will be doing the code part. So here I'm just kind of exporting it, and as this is kind of a mindless project, I'm just going to keep doing it. So I've never been paid for anything code related before. I would like to get some form of employment in development, but I don't want to work in an office. Remote as first job? I think remote as first job makes a lot of sense. I've been working remotely for like 10 years. So yeah, working in an office is no fun. I could see the reason to do it. But yeah, there's definitely remote opportunities now. I think if you can just scrape up those skills. TopTal is a organization, toptal.com. You could go there. If you can pass their tests and you can get on their platform, I'm pretty confident that they'll be able to find work for you, paid work. You could also start with Upwork, which is another website to just get freelance work. And then, yeah, another place to start finding places to do work is if you can find open source projects on like GitHub that you like, that are running on a stack that you're familiar with. Get up and running on that. Look at the issues on the GitHub issues and see if you can solve some of their problems. And if you're working on an open source project and you start being somebody who's solved problems for them and you've actually added to the code base, I think that's probably the best way to get in. It just takes a lot of work and it's kind of hard to get there. But most software developers who can make meaningful contributions to software projects don't seem to have a hard time finding work. So hope that answers your question, Mark Scholes. Is that good enough? I hope. While I'm waiting for you to answer, I'm going to look for another quote.
I guess it'd be understanding and communication between the different age brackets.
You had the chance to communicate one general idea to the American public.
Okay, so I'm just going to record this all because I've never heard this before.
You had the chance to communicate one general idea to the American public. What would it be?
I guess it'd be understanding and communication between the different age brackets, which is let's just saying about age brackets anyway, not in my mind, because the person's not actually old in numbers of years, but how many miles he's traveled, how he keeps his mind active and creative.
Can you guys hear the YouTube video?
There's millions of them.
Okay, fine. Most people won't even answer that one. Don't feel bad. Number two, when you're before a large audience and start to play, how do you feel inside? What sensations do you feel, if any?
Well, I really feel like I really feel like turning people on, quite naturally. Some kind of, at least entertainment, without being false about it, without being a superficial clown or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And like if they don't respond, well then I'll just play for myself.
Yeah, Monster Boy, I can read you.
If they do respond, well then this gives me more energy to work out. It's another way of communication and trying to make harmony amongst the people enjoying what we're trying to get across. Harmony is part of the first one too.
If you are not getting the desired response from an audience when you're on stage, what do you do? What would be your reaction?
be they might not be ready for that particular thing. That they might be coming to the concert as critics, instead of as people, wanting to get into some entertainment, and then from then on they can build it more. But like, there's no response at all. It doesn't bother me too much at all. It just makes me play a little more music. See, that's just the way I think. I think in no negative terms at all, because it takes up a whole lot of space in your mind. And some people only use 1/10 of the brain capacity anyway. And so, there's much more room to think other good ways, and try to turn them on regardless. Just like a hospital, when a patient might be kicking, he doesn't want an operation, and he knows good and well, might be good for him in the long run. But he's scared, and he's kicking around in the bed, and the nurses are trying to strap him down. Well, I'm the nurses, trying to get him together and trying to prove to him that this is right.
What is your
Oh, that was pretty cool. I've never heard this interview before. So yeah. Again, I'm just cleaning up the audio for this drum machine project I'm working on right now. I've been learning code for 2 months now, and your free code camp videos really helped me. Thanks, man. Oh, thank you very much. Didn't ask. It's been cool to see the feedback from people.
chance to communicate one general idea to the American
Cool. I'm gonna add this is going to be the next quote.
communicate one general idea to the American public, what would it be?
Application between because the person's not actually old in numbers of years, but how many miles he's traveled, how he keeps his mind active and creative. And I guess that'd be one general idea. There's millions of them.
Okay, fine.
Cool. So I'm gonna actually use this one. Smooth the audio levels and add a bumper so it's smooth in and out.
You had the chance to communicate one general idea to the American public, what would it be?
I guess it'd be understanding and communication between the different age brackets, which is no such thing about age brackets. And I guess that'd be one general idea. There's millions of them.
Cool. I'm gonna export this as on age. And I'm going to want that to be, let's see, I've got W, Q, and E, Q, W, E. I want this one to be A. Oh, cool, it's already there on age. So I'm going to export this to the clips. And then I'm going to, extend this out and trim this here because there was another quote in here that I'm trying to pull out of here. First, last, Yes. This is. Oh no. Wait. No, this isn't my first live stream. I've done 1 or 2 of these where I'm just kind of working on projects, just seeing if there's anything that anybody wants to talk about in the mint.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you can look back at them.
Most people won't even answer. But when you're before a large audience,
Why does it seem like my first one? When you're before a large audience.
before a large audience and start to play, how do you feel inside?
I mean what you said in the vid. Oh, I don't know what you mean. Sorry.
What sensations do you feel, if any?
I really feel harmony is part of the first one too.
Response from an audience when you're on stage, what do? What would be your reaction?
Because, harmony is part of the first one too anyway. If they do respond, well, this gives me more energy to work out. It's another way of communication and trying to make harmony amongst the people enjoying what we're trying to get across. Harmony is part of the first one too anyway.
Oh, cool. So I'm going to actually just make this one, and it looks like I've got another one in here too.
When you're before a large audience and start to play,
Well, I really feel like
Software for coding. I like Atom. Virtual code something. There's one that's like virtual code. Virtual text editor. I use Atom because I started using it. Virtual Studio Code looks really cool. And then a lot of people, when I was in the Bay Area, use Sublime Text. I like Atom. I think they're all pretty much equal. If I were using if I were trying to develop native iOS apps, I'd probably start using like native iOS tools like Script or whatever the tool is that they use. Um, yeah, yeah. The cool thing about software is it's super lightweight. You don't need really nice software. What I'm doing right now is much more software intensive than coding.
I know, I really feel like turning people on, quite naturally.
And start to play. How do you feel inside? What sensation when you're before a large?
Okay, so I'm going to call this one, let's see, I just did the last one was A. I want to create this one as S. And then on audience. So I'm going to save that in the clip. Cool. And so now I've got the audience in here. And now I'm going to create another one. So I got 3 out of this guy.
This is what I think. I think it,
What do you do? If you're not getting,
Cool. This one's going to be like
you're not getting the desire.
question Jimi Hendrix answers about audience.
If you're not getting the desired response from an audience when you're on stage, what do you do? What would be your reaction?
well, I have an imagination. It doesn't bother me too much at all. It just makes me play a little more music. See, that's just the way I think. I think in no negative terms at all, because it takes up a whole lot of space in your mind. And some people only use 1/10 of the brain capacity anyway. And so, there's much more room to think other good ways, and try to turn them on regardless. Just like a hospital, when a patient might be kicking, he doesn't want an operation, and he knows good and well, might be good for him in the long run. But he's scared, and he's kicking around in the bed, and the nurses are trying to strap him down. Well, I'm the nurses, trying to get him together and trying to prove to him that this is right. Prove to him that this is right.
If you're not getting the
Cool. And so I got another one here. And so I can export this to use Python, but is that not good? Python is just a programming language. So you can use this exact same tools to work with Python as you can for Ruby or JavaScript. I recommend starting in JavaScript, though. Whenever people say, oh, start in Python, I think software people always have a habit of making things more difficult, and I think that's one of the things I'm really trying to do with this channel. I don't think people should start with Python. I think you should start with JavaScript. If you can write intermediate JavaScript, you'll basically be able to write, beginner Python, just because loops, data structures, all that stuff is going to be pretty much the same. They just write it differently. Once you get deeper into the languages and you become a proficient JavaScript engineer, you're going to be able to see stuff in JavaScript and Python, and you'll be able to tell the difference. Like, JavaScript's really bad with math. Like, there's some times where you'll be like, 1,000,000 divided by 2, and they'll give you like 500,000.333 or something. Like, JavaScript has errors in it, which is weird. But you don't have to worry about that until later. So that's why I say stick with JavaScript for a while until you get pretty good, and then you can look at other languages. Yeah. So, yeah, you could use Python, but if you use Python and you're trying to build web apps, you're going to have to learn a bit of JavaScript to do the stuff that Python can't do. So Python will do the server-side stuff. I can't remember what the specific language, but it's all the pip, like pip install and stuff like that. Django might be the Python version of server-side web production tool, but why not just start with JavaScript? You've got free CodeCamp that'll get you all the way up to developing web apps. I mean, and then like the server-side language you can write in JavaScript, and then you can write your front-end JavaScript as well. And so why make it harder on yourself learning 2 languages as you're starting? It's kind of like, I think it makes sense to learn one language first, and it makes sense to have that language be JavaScript. What's this called? On bombing. That's what I'm going to call this. Because this is Jimi Hendrix talking about bombing. Let's see, we've got A and we've got S. So we need D, Z, X, and C. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is going to be D. And now we've got D.
If you're not getting the desired response from an audience.
Room
Okay, cool. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 3 more to go. That's going to be Z, X, and C. Using Python, yeah. Yeah, I think that was the last bit for the quote. So now I'm going to jump back over to YouTube and continue recording. It's Jimi Hendrix stuff.
Personal philosophy of music. What effect do you want it to have on your audience?
And try to prove to them that this is right.
What is your own personal philosophy of music? What effect do you want it to have on?
Right now I'm working on the drum machine project.
Well,
Let's see here.
my personal one is that's part of my life. You know, it's just a part of me, music itself.
I'm working on this guy.
The effect I like to have for it on
Front end projects, the drum machine.
If not a awakening state.
Then the calculator, then the Pomodoro clock.
So we don't preach necessarily
Calculator is going to be
unless it's a certain incidence in song.
long
It should have some kind of solution.
and boring. Like, who wants to write a calculator? It's already been written before. There's one on your on everything. It's a good exercise, I guess. I might try to find a way to use some sort of open source project to cheat it, to make it easier for me, but this is good for people who are learning to code, though. I've just done it before, so it's kind of weird.
Stage that call for it to work by itself.
Cool. So I just got another 1-minute clip. I'm going to throw this into the tool that I'm using to export these.
Try to prove to them that this is right.
What is your
Hello, Romulo Cavalcanti from Brazil. I just started classes on Free Code Camp. Thanks to you, I'm progressing. Just want to thank you and hope someday I get a good job. I hope you get a good job too, and thank you for watching.
own personal philosophy of music? What effect do you want it to have on your audience?
Brazil. I want to go to Brazil.
Let's see. Personal philosophy. Well, my personal one is that's preach necessarily violence unless it's a certain incidence in a song. It should have some kind of part of my life. You know, it's just a part of me, music itself. And the effect I like to have for it on audience is maybe in a hypnotic state, if not a awakening state. You know. So therefore, that's why we don't preach necessarily violence unless it's a certain incidence in a song. It should have some kind of solution, you know, at the end of the song, every song that we give out to people, you know, because it's almost all philosophy. Our music is, most of it is, in a very hazy form because it's still progressing. You know, it's just like a little baby, and it hasn't even reached the stage that call for it to walk by itself. You know.
Cool. So this is like a philosophy of music. And this is going to be Z. Setting this Z. And we're saying this is music philosophy. I'm going to save this to the clips file. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 2 more to go. Go back over here and see if I can get one from a different interview.
Everybody subsequent to the Isle of Wight festival and prior to it has been talking about the new, subdued, mature Jimi Hendrix. And I wonder if you could tell us why this is and maybe where it started from.
Well, there was a period when I stopped talking so much because, like, you know, just going through certain things here and there, and like,
Oh yeah, I've made lots of
I
websites.
don't know really. I guess there was something else to talk about or something, whatever.
I've made tons of websites. A lot of websites on WordPress. I've done a ton of client work on WordPress. Now I'm building web apps. So websites, yeah. Right now in this project is an example of website. If you look at the projects that I've that in the in Free Code Camp on the YouTube, like the front end tutorials. Those guys. Responsive web design certificate. I made a website for each one of these guys, and you can go back and watch me make those. JavaScript algorithms. We made didn't do websites for those, but I'm making one for each of these as well. So, yeah.
Are you not worried in a sense that
Thanks for asking.
your quieter approach now may lose a little of the mystique that there was with
This one's not as good for quotes. I'm going to go back to this one.
In your opinion, what is the best possible or desirable situation to bring this response about? These are very leading questions, I must tell you. Just
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes when there's a lot of, there's a lot of riots and so forth, that's still going to happen in the States, and anywhere else for that matter. So therefore, in the hottest parts of the country, they should allow these groups to play in an outdoor way. I know that sounds suicidal, but it's not at all. Matter of fact, it's the best way to do anything. Is to bring only special groups, so certain groups, because there's a lot of groups that are trying to, like I said before, to keep harmony amongst people. So they either give them good time music or loud music, so they can release their frustrations and so forth. Standing right next, like black and white standing next to each other with hammers, getting ready to hit each other. And this music has a way. It's a universal language anyway. And if it was respected properly, it would have a way to
Can you guys hear
at
the
the same time.
audio
And like
from the YouTube video?
thing
Like the Jimi Hendrix interview?
outside, almost like the evangelist, a gathering like that. The other music should stay in clubs, and all the pretentious people in music, they should just stay in their pretentious bag, like for instance in clubs and cabarets and all that. You see, there's a lot of elderly people want to know about what's happening in new music today too. They want to know why people play so loud. They want to know this and want to know that. What's the best thing for them to do is come and hear certain groups. There's only certain groups that are trying to get across a harmony message anyway. And we're one of them. I'm sorry. Hello.
Huh. I wonder if it's not picking up my computer audio. I am using these old, these interviews from the 1960s, so that might make a difference. But yeah, this is just, instead of making a drum machine, I'm making a Jimi Hendrix quote machine.
Well, but sometimes when there's a lot of
in your opinion, what is the best possible or desirable situation to bring this response about? These are very leading questions, I must tell you.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what is the best possible or desirable situation to bring this response about? These are very leading questions, I must tell you. Just
well, sometimes when there's a lot of
Cool. I can't really hear her question, so I'm cutting that out.
well, sometimes when there's a lot of riots and so forth, that's still going to happen in the States.
The stream is delayed. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look back at the recording of this to see how it worked out. It's not intentional.
Anywhere else for that matter. So therefore, in the hottest parts of the country, is come and hear the message anyway. What's the best thing for them to do is come and hear certain groups. There's only certain groups that are trying to get across a harmony message anyway.
Cool. So this one was Z. So we got X. This is the second to last one. On riots or on protests. I'm gonna add that to the clip file. And then, yeah, we'll jump back over here and try to get another one.
Hello. Who is it? Come and stop.
what, you just take it off?
Yeah, I took it off and then down. Oh no, I just take it off.
I can see one heard it. Okay, now, what social implications do you feel that rock music has brought to your generation?
I think probably that it was good time music at first, like I said before, like with Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and Joey Lee Lewis, and you know, you can go on down the line, Elvis Presley and so forth. But then, like, there's a lot of drugs that's dipped into it from some of the fact that
On Twitch, no.
think different than other people.
You think streaming on Twitch is a worthwhile endeavor?
It's up to them themselves not to make it to escape, and some of us are seeping through them. And I think some of the people that were on drugs, some of the regular people, you know, or like I said, some of the music seeped in, some of the the drug seeds seeped into the music, and so therefore they felt it was a little better to do these.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, if I would do Twitch, I should probably do something like code something. You think that would be worth giving it a try?
The whole idea in the first place for all these drugs.
Doing a coding project, doing something actually useful, rather than just showing
So like everybody wants
me make audio files off the internet.
location somewhere for you know, and some people couldn't find this and trying to talk to the parents or the so-called other generation, you know, because they have a way of overprotecting the people so much as where they put them in boxes, you know, and they put themselves in boxes, and that's not the right way of living. Because younger people, their minds are a little more keener, and they can figure this out. So therefore, since they can't get release and respect from the older people, then they go into these other things, and then music gets louder and it gets rebellious because it's starting to form a religion, you know. And because you're not going to find it in church. A lot of kids, you know, don't find nothing in church. I remember when I got thrown out of church because I had the improper clothes on. I had tennis shoes and a suit, and they said, well, that's not proper. So we don't have no money to get anything else. So I just got thrown out of church anyway. It's nothing but an institution, so they're not going to find nothing there. And so then it moves on to trying to find yourself, you know. So therefore, you see somebody look maybe kind of freaky or playing very radical, regardless if it's good or bad, you know. And then quite naturally, they take up to this person or these people. It's up to the people to preach the proper thing to them through the music.
What do you feel has been
Man, this is such a cool interview. I've never even heard this before. This is one of the things I love about coding is you can get yourself involved in projects that are pretty interesting. That's why I'm not interested in making a drum machine. Things like Ableton has done such a good job with drum machine software. Like, there's no reason for me to make something where you, like a bad drum machine.
okay? Now, what social implications?
Social Implications of Rock Music by Jimi Hendrix. This is awesome.
What social implications do you feel that rock
So I'm smoothing out the audio.
brought to your generation?
Little Richard,
We just listened to that whole thing.
regardless if it's good or bad, preach the proper thing to them through the music.
What do you,
Cool. Just preach the proper thing through them and through the music.
To the people to preach the proper thing to them through the music.
Cool. Now I'm going to export this, and this is going to be the last one that I need. XC. This should be C. On rock music. Export that. So yeah, what I've done here is I'm adding all these M4A clips of audio clips to this to this clip folder, and then I've got this index file, and so this index file has let's see here, it's in my incognito window. This is my drum machine folder, and so right now when I refresh this, if I click the Q,
What do you like to hear if somebody comes up after your
it actually plays the thing, and so that's what I'm building a website where you can click buttons to listen to Jimi Hendrix, click through it. And so in the video where I actually do this, I'm working my way through the test-driven development, and I got to this point where it's like when I click this, I need an audio clip contained in the child audio element should be triggered. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just going through and I just made 9 of these because I need 9 separate audio clips that will be triggered when people click on one of these buttons. And then I'm going to continue to work down here. And yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. There's a lot of people coding and editing stuff while streaming on Twitch. Man, that's pretty cool. Do you think, didn't ask, are you still there? Let's see here, participants. He's still there, cool. What do you think? Do you think Twitch is better than YouTube for this kind of thing?
This man was in the 101st Airborne. That's the best shirt I've seen in a long.
He went to England to get his own group together.
No, who's this?
Noel Redding, the
Oh
bass
no,
player.
often.
That's why he compliments. You know, compliments is so embarrassing thing. You know, but it's all right. It's just part of life. I'm digging myself. How about some of the best sitting in this chair?
Yeah. Do you have to practice every day the way a violinist doesn't?
Practice those. It's always constantly. I mean, you know, and all this kind of stuff. You know, I can't go through all that. I've been going through it for 3 years. I think there are.
He's amazed at the absence of violence. It's become a cliche now.
I'm sorry, Scott.
We're going to both sack out. Mr. Young, will you?
Okay, cool. I don't need any more of these clips. I've got the 9 that I need for this project. Greetings, Dylan. I'm going to discard that one. And then when I close this, I'm actually removing all that old stuff that I said. So Twitch is better because you know the platform is literally for streaming. Yeah, that's a good call. Geez, I wonder if I could just stream with Twitch. Do you think that you need to be paying attention? When I'm making these tutorials, I want the focus to be on making the tutorials well. Do you think I can just stream just me working on them, even though I'm going to be stopping and like editing the tutorial and thing? Do you think that that would be worth it? Twitch. Live stream, Sublime Text, you don't need that. I'm gonna keep listening to that. Like coding. What do you look for? Like, what's a Twitch stream? Someone coding. Oh, it's just streaming music. That's awesome. For streaming, Twitch is better. That's what it's made for. Okay, cool. I don't know if... I don't even know if I have an account. Looks like I do. How do you stream on Twitch? Open Twitch, select dashboard. Creator dashboard. Streaming software. I think I already have that. Go to Stream Manager. Just search Twitch programming. Yeah, I think. Can you see my screen? It seems like you should be able to check this out now. My chat, Twitch, Insights, Community, Activity Feed, Stream Preview, Edit Stream Info. Extensions, Tools, Preferences, Channel. Primary stream key. Yeah. That's the old one. All right, cool. So yeah, this I'm thinking I'm gonna wrap this guy up. I've just been converting these audio files, and I think I'm gonna try to stream on Twitch for the rest of this project, just to make sure, just to see if it works. So I'll jump over there. I don't know what my channel would be called. My Twitch name is Independent Ian, INDEPENDENTIAN. And so maybe I'll be able to get the Twitch streaming working in a bit. Yeah. And I'll do the rest of the open source or the of the portfolio project. I'll actually be writing code, so it makes sense to do it there. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out here. Dylan, Sampson, and Didn't Asked. Maybe I'll see you guys on Twitch. And if not, I would just recommend just work on coding because writing code's really exciting and fun. And so hope you guys enjoyed this one. It looks like 5 people are watching, but the participants are low. That's interesting. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'll probably be doing some coding over on Twitch. So hope to see you guys there. Thanks again for watching. Rock and roll.